Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Mountain Harmony Gardening. I'm Kristen, and today I'm going to be showing you how I figure out when to start my seeds. The first thing you need to do is figure out your frost dates. And if you don't know them, all you got to do is do a search on your computer and put in your city and put in your frost date, and it'll give it to you. But for me, it's not exactly accurate. So this is why I've been keeping gardening journals for years. This is like my third gardening journal. So for us, one of the old sayings that the farmers have around here is don't plant until Mother's Day. So for me, it's even a little bit different than that. I can get away with planting sometimes as early as May 1st, but I still use that old date of Mother's Day just in case. So that's the first thing that you need to do is figure out your frost date. The next step that you need to do is you need to separate out all of your seeds into different weeks. And what I mean by that is you can start them from 12 weeks to 4 weeks before your last frost date. So what I did is I went through all of my seeds and I separated them out into different categories. So these are my 8 to 12 weeks, and then I have a 6 to 10 week, and then I have a 6 to 8 week, a 6 week, and then I have a 4 week out. And then I also have a whole bunch in here that are direct sow. This is the easiest way for me to kind of keep track of what I need to sow when. And the way you figure this out also for each individual packet is on the back of each packet. Has a whole bunch of instructions for you, and it will tell you how far out from your last frost date that you need to plant your seeds. Once you've sorted out all of your seeds, the next step is to figure out when you actually need to start them. So you're going to want to figure out when your last frost date is. So for me, it's in May. So here's Mother's Day, and it says that around this week is actually when our last frost date is. And it's not. It's here, or it's even back here, or sometimes I've gotten away with starting them in April. So I know that only because I've been keeping track of our records. I have an outdoor thermometer that shows us our inside and our outside temperature, and I kept records on a calendar every day for a year of what the temperature was in the morning, so I know for my area kind of when our frost date actually is. So, but I still plan for that Mother's Day, just in case we end up having a late winter, which I don't think we are this year. We've gotten hardly any snow. Even with the snowstorm we had the other day, it's almost all melted off. Okay, so I take my first set of seeds. These are the 8 to 12 weeks. So I have the celery, the yarrow, and then all of my peppers. And these are the first set of seeds that I'm going to be starting. So you could get an app for this. I like to do it on paper still, just because if I plug in my frost date, it makes all of these dates wrong. So I have to kind of do it more manually. And I might think of something, a way to do a spreadsheet on my computer. But for now, paper works. So I know that I want to start 4 celery, 8 yarrow, 4, 10, and 10. So I set a reminder in my phone for February 18, which really is only about a month away. So there's February 18th, and I try to make it for a Sunday. So that's usually like my planting day. I know I'm going to be home because usually our water has turned on by the time I'm planting these outside. So I like to do everything on a Sunday. So on February 18th, I'm going to be starting these. And I figured out with my seed trays about how many I want to start and how much of a tray I'm going to need. And you always want to plant extra. Just in case something happens, it's a good idea to have extra, because I have had, dampening off or something else happens. It's just always good to start extra. So I know that this is my base that I need to start with. I'll probably be doing like 10, here, and I'll probably do like 12. Once we start our seeds, I will definitely be showing you all of this. So next is March 3rd, that's the 6 to 10 week. So I know I pull out my next container, and I know that I'm going to be starting my tomatoes. So all my different tomatoes. I'm going to be doing my tomatillos, And then I'm going to be doing this. Don't even ask me how to pronounce that one. I do not know. I've never grown this before, but it looked really cool from Baker Creek. You can make a tea out of it. So we've got that. And then it goes just back each container. Some of these have a few containers. Like once you get up to the 6 week, you can see how long this is. This is going to be several trays worth. It's going to go back really far. So, and there's also the 6 to 8 week there too. So I do this for all of the seeds in this whole container. And then like I said in the back here is all of my direct sow seeds. So this is how I figure out how to start my seeds. You can see that this is actually a pretty simple process. And yes, you can find apps online to help you out with this, but because of my kind of strange frost state where the computer, when I plugged it in, it's not correct, that I kind of have to do this manually. And it doesn't really take too terribly long, and I actually enjoy the process. Like I said, this is like one of my favorite things to do is when I do anything for gardening. So if you guys have any questions on this, please let me know in the comments. And just remember to look on the back of your seed packets. And if that doesn't have that information on it, which I know some seed packets don't, you can always look it up online. Mel's book, if you guys can get that book, is extremely helpful for this because he has all of this information in there for, like, he'll put brassicas and then he'll put corn and so on and so forth. So he has all of this information already in his book. I highly recommend that book. So thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Happy gardening!